cut on Plumeria. I've been getting a few requests of people asking me how I cut my Plumeria and or trim it back. So here's just, I'm going to simulate because I've already done this cut. But I use a hacksaw. I don't use clippers. Clippers get dull, and after a few cuts, it will damage the cut or the stem, and you don't want to do that. So I just use a hacksaw. It works almost as fast, not quite as fast, but it makes a cleaner cut. So this particular cut was sticking out in the yard, and I did not want the gardener to accidentally break it off, so I decided to cut this one. So you can see here where it was. I use a hacksaw and I cut at an angle. I don't cut straight down, I cut at an angle here. So I cut this at an angle, set this out to dry for a week. When this stops running sap, then I come back down and I seal that. Let me show you the cut. Here's the cut. It's at an angle, you can see there. It's been sitting in perlite, so that's why it looks like that. But I just want you to see the cut on that. And it's dried out, and it's been sitting in perlite. Oh, pretty butterfly. So anyway, this, after the sap stops running, then I go back and I seal that cut. And everybody does it different. This is just my particular way with liquid electrical tape. So I cut this at an angle so the water doesn't sit in it. But I'm going to take an extra precaution. And I'm going to come back down here. And it has a little paintbrush in here. This is kind of thick right now. But I paint this, and it's like a latex. Well, it's tape. And I just paint that and let it dry. It dries pretty quick. And that's just an extra precaution that rot does not get in that area. Within a month, you'll see little bumps growing here, and you'll get anywhere from 1 to 4 new branches. Usually it's 2 to 3 new branches will grow off here. I get mostly 3 branches each time. But you'll see them, you won't see it right away. It'll take about a month, and then about a month after that, they'll start growing like this. So now I'm going to show you what happens once they're dried out. All right? Okay. So you could do several different things after they're dried out. You can wet the bottom and dip it in rooting hormone, any kind, or cinnamon, or you don't have to put it in anything at all. Actually, to tell you the truth, I've had just as good success when I forgot to put the rooting hormone on here, and it grew just as fast. Well, they all take about 6 weeks before they start rooting and growing leaves. So I always use something small, and I like to use a clear cup so I can see the roots growing. And I've burnt holes in here because they need well drainage. Can't let a plumeria get wet and stay wet, or it'll rot. It'll just turn to mush. Okay. So now I fill this with all perlite, which keeps it dry. We're gonna wet it to begin with, but then after that, we're not going to touch it for 6 weeks. So you can see this is perlite, and I'll put a description of the bag at the end. So I'm going to put this in here and finish it off. And I'm going to pack that down. I'm going to water it once. Soak it so the water runs through. So the water runs all the way through the bottom. See there? Water running through. I'm going to pack it down again to hold it in place. Okay, now that's it. Now I'm going to set this in, I set it under my lanai, so if you have a patio, it's a good place to set it. So it gets filtered sun, not direct sun, for 6 weeks. And then whenever you see the leaves, they'll start out little like this, but when you see the leaves coming out, when they're about this big, they're ready to put in the ground. Actually, I left these on from the last cut because I like to have a good leaf on there, at least 1 or 2. I think that helps bring in the photosynthesis for feeding it. But these little leaves right here, once they start growing this big, then you know it's rooted. Sometimes you'll see the roots down here come through. Alright, and that's it. That's how you cut and propagate a plumeria. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi, I think I forgot to mention in my the video, so I just want to add this to it. Once you drench this cutting the first time, you don't want to touch it again after that. 6 weeks, it's going to sit in filtered sun, and not until the leaves start growing at least 2 or more inches and roots at the bottom. Don't water it, don't touch it. Once, you just have to let it dry out. It just has to dry. It can't have wet feet, as they call it, all right? And also, I'd just like to give a big shout out to my 2 beautiful cousins in California, Margie and Kim. Hi, love you, and here's your video. You want to know how to do a cutting and make a plumeria off of a mother tree? This is how you do it. It's pretty easy once you get past this stage. If you can just not water the cutting after the original water, you'll do fine. All right, thanks for watching again. Oh, and here is just in case I forgot this is the perlite. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.